My name is Allie of Allie Loves Pain. I was considered a friend of Craig for a short time. Amber, and I were close for a while, and we were the first to really give him a chance and to talk to him and try to befriend him. And I did do a few interviews with him. I'm not sure if they're still up on his channel, probably not. And he did invite me and Beck out along with Amber to do sections or segments on his channel and just generally be a part of whatever he was doing. And he wanted us to be business partners. It wasn't long for him to start asking and begging for nudes and anything else, and just being generally creepy, calling us stuff like babe, cutie, baby, angel, that type of thing. And there's a lot of warning signs there. And while Beck and I kind of stepped back a little bit, Amber just kind of ran with it and was like, he's just going to be a good friend, because Amber sees the best in people. And everyone knows what happened after that.
This is turning into a rape thing real fast.
Why is this guy have a platform on YouTube?
And my lawyer said we know how to get this down, so we're gonna get it down.
Was I raping her in that clip? No, because it didn't happen, you dumb fuck.
I'm so angry that I spent any time or wasted any of my energy, emotional energy on these people because they're all liars.
And I'm like, these are your subscribers.
My experience with CJ has been positive.
He played off my emotions, knowing that I cared for him.
He sent my own nudes to me.
Ask everybody for interviews. You're fucking weird, dude. You're fucking weird.
She had gaslit her to the point where she actually thought she was insane.
If I don't want it up, I don't want it up. This is a serious matter. This isn't part one, part two, you know?
I'm good now. I'm good now. Now this is content. Now this is content. Now this is content to me, my friend. Now you are content to me. Yeah, listen, Rag Reynolds. Listen, this is the end of my career, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You don't have a
I don't know. I don't have a career, dude. I got 200 people in here. How many do you have? 35 in your chat ever. Your career never started. You never had one. Actually, I'm the #1 streamer in Rhode Island. As a matter of fact. #1 live streamer in Rhode Island. As a matter of fact. #1 live streamer in Rhode Island. #1. Listen. Dare I say the East Coast. Dare I say the East Coast.
Yeah, right.
Dare I say. As a matter of fact.
Okay,
dare I say the East Coast. Dare I say. Okay.
Yeah, dare you say.
Dare I said no, that's not what happened. I said we had sex. I never admitted shit. And you need to shut the fuck up and stop acting like you know what happened. You don't know shit.
You said no twice. You said no twice. You said no twice.
But the RSN story does not end there. Now we're moving on from Amber, and we're going to talk about Maxie. Maxie was another girl who was deeply involved with Onision drama, and eventually she found herself in RSN's headlights. Prior to all of this, and even prior to the Onision drama, Maxie had an ongoing issue with a stalker who had been stalking her for years and years of her life. This man had doxed her and spread all sorts of vile rumours about her online. It came to her complete detriment and surprise that RealStream News, knowing about this history and knowing who this stalker was, decided to give him a platform. So, first off, can you tell me a little bit about your previous experience and introduction to RSN before the incident where you started to get involved with your stalker? I found him through Onision drama and shit like that. And I know about the Laney situation that I did with him, and it was just creepy interactions to begin with. A lot of people say the same sort of thing. So, he sent my own nudes to me, one of the first DMs we've had that are leaked, and that threw me off quite a bit. Yeah. So what was he saying? I'm sure I've seen these at one point, but what was he saying in these DMs? Was he just sending them to you and hey, that's you, or? He's like, hey, did you know these are out there? And he sent the pictures of my tits, which I didn't need to see. Yeah. You know they're out there. You could have
No, I know they're out there.
You could have asked that without showing, yeah.
No, he could have asked that without showing. And like he commented, he was like, "Those tits, though." He's like, "What's your sexuality? How old are you?" It was just shit like that.
Okay, so obviously that's your first thing with them, and the Amber thing obviously happens. I've spoken about that enough today. I don't think I need to go over it again. But
No.
After that, there's this whole thing with your stalkers. So before we talk about RSN specifically, could you give like a brief summary of your stalker situation prior to when RSN got in contact, just to give this some context before we get there?
I met this guy when I was 14 in high school. He was a senior. I was in 8th grade. I was friends with him. He started to like me. Like, I felt the same attraction, but like I knew due to my age that it was not right for me to be in a relationship at that time, so I turned him down. And then at one point, he just became overbearingly creepy as well, so I cut him out completely. And for the next 6 years, he doxed my whole family on a site. He posted my dad's obituary. Like, he's just been nonstop harassing me. And like at one point, like before it turned into this constant harassment, it turned into, "Oh, will you date me when you turn 18? I'll wait for you," and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
so how
like,
old was this guy?
18. I was 14.
So 18. Okay.
Yeah. Which
I know you said the years there for the high school and whatever, but as a non-American, it didn't quite sit right with me.
No, 8th grade would probably be like year 8, like year 7 down there, and then like a senior would be like just about to graduate and go to college, uni, whatever it's called.
So obviously you've got this whole past with this guy. So it came to the point where RSN decided he was going to have some sort of live stream with him. How did you end up coming to blows with RSN, and how did that even materialize? Like, what made him have a thing against you in order to even speak to this guy in the first place?
I think it's because I decided to stick through Amber. I decided to stay on Amber's side because, like, Amber, I had been friends with Amber for a long time. And, like, of course I'm not gonna cut her out over something I believe is true. Because I believe he did rape her. I believe that fully.
So he kept on you, and he had an issue with you because you were one of the loudest sort of people who were continuing with this. And obviously there was some stuff already out there, like Onision drama, that sort of thing. So you had some stuff to work with, and eventually... Did this stalker get in contact with him first, or was it him that went to this other guy? I'm guessing the other guy went to him.
Yeah, I'm guessing, because, like, he took out of context screenshots from other Discord servers I'm in. It went to a point that RSN actually accused me of incest. I think you've seen that clip.
And she's actually into some incest shit, so she's worried about me talking about her tits when she wants to, like, fuck her brother.
Dude, that girl heavily implied she wanted a threesome with both of us, so...
Oh, I'm not even talking about her. I'm talking about somebody else.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
So who are you talking about? I'm confused. Like, you're responding to something
I'm talking
I didn't see,
about Maxie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Maxie. No, I'm sorry. Like, she made a huge deal about him saying, I know. Those tits, though, whatever.
I know. Like, fuck off.
Like, have you never been complimented on your tits? Apparently not.
And I apologize too, because if she really did take it seriously, then I'll apologize. But she
really gives a fuck, honestly.
I was about to release merch that said "real tits" and with a crown on top of it, the R, and she just freaked out. She's like, "I don't want you doing that. If you do that, I'm gonna sue you."
So, like, I as soon as I heard the incest allegations, I knew exactly who contacted him. Like. And then I DM'd him about it. I was just like, I gave him a warning and everything. I gave him my whole history with this guy. Yeah. And he was just like, it's just, oh my God. It's so hard to think about this because, like, it's emotionally stressed me out for a while.
So next I wanted to ask then, CJ definitely knew 100% that this guy was a stalker and that you had issues with him in the past, correct?
He knew exactly. I gave him, like, I sent him the locale thread where where my stalker was outed. I sent him the other site where an admin outed him yet again for being the same person, and like I gave him everything possibly that I knew and had. And like, also to top the cake off, like, this guy has a restraining order.
Yeah.
Like, I have a restraining order against him. It's just like, it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Well, today I was emailing back and forth with RSN, and he certainly seems to be taking the blame, taking the guilt, so to speak, because he did say to me in the email, he said, I've apologized to Maxie. So clearly he acknowledges what he has done is wrong, and in most cases that can sometimes be excused, but when you're looking at a guy with a history like he has, I mean, we're talking about not just your situation, but so many situations with so many different people, it's hard to excuse. For example, it's hard to forgive when you know really he doesn't mean that he's sorry. I mean, if he was really sorry, then why is it that there's another 10 examples of other people who he's had a negative impact on in such a similar way?
Like his public excuse for what he has done to me is he always stays with this statement that he never knew that he was my stalker, when in the fact that's a lie. I can debunk him with screenshots. So the fact that he says he had no idea that this was an actual stalker is disgusting, because he knew, and he's lying to the public that he never knew.
In regards to the stalker, is that sort of died down? Like, is that guy still as intense right now, or have things died down?
He's been quiet for now, but I'm sure he'll pop up sooner or later.
So when RSN did this stream with your stalker, did he make it clear what his intentions were? Like, were his intentions just to try and badmouth you, to try and destroy your reputation? Like, did he have a goal there? Like, what was the stream all about? Like, I'm guessing the two of them just gossiped about you and talked about certain things.
He tried to bring up like my mental health, like the fact that I have bipolar. Like, I'm open with that, but like other things, he tried to gaslight to make me look insane and him look totally sane. So his whole goal there was to like kind of clear his name, which obviously didn't work.
Is there anything else you want to specifically add? Or
I would like to say that RSN like caused me a lot of mental like distress, and so like I've spent like thousands and thousands of dollars on therapy just from this one situation, and it's still hard for me to talk about. Like, even like a year from, like, it's been a year since it happened, and it's still hard to talk about.
It's a hard situation to deal with for anyone, especially when it's something you've dealt with for a long time. Like, if you've had this stalker for 6 years, was it you said? So it's a long time to deal with that sort of thing. And then for this guy on the internet who's already doing all these other scumbag things to start bringing that up and get that involved again, it takes things to a different level.
I never thought like it would get onto a level of him giving him a platform. Like, I never thought that he would ever get a platform, and the fact that he got the platform is just disgusting. Like, he had everything, he knew everything.
Yeah.
Like, this man attacks my family, he attacks my personal life, and then RSN just decides to jump in and attack my personal life as well.
Yeah, he's basically amplifying it. He's giving the guy a megaphone. During his time here on YouTube, RealStream News has come under heavy fire from creators such as myself and Masked Babe, along with some other smaller creators. And this is because people believe that he has blatantly been abusing the copyright system. All of the evidence suggests that he has no issue with flagging down videos that he just doesn't like. As far as my personal experience goes, he has tried to take down 2 of my videos that showed a clip of him that he did not like. And he even tried to justify these strikes in the comment section of one of my videos talking about it. First up, can you give a brief summary about your history with CJ?
My brief history with CJ is that I've made videos about him in the past. I I started communicating with him in his streams because I thought that he was kind of an interesting character. And over time, we've just had a lot go on between us, a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs. And that's about it.
Obviously, you made videos. How many videos was it you made about him? 2, 3?
I think 3 max, but it's like 2 or 3, yeah.
And how many of those did he falsely copyright strike?
I'd say 2 of them.
So you copyright strike 2 of them. I mean,
yes.
give or take.
Right.
So what reason did he give you for those copyright strikes?
That I used a certain clip of his streams that was longer than 15 seconds. And that's apparently how fair use works. If you use a clip, it has to be 15 seconds and that's it. And I told him that that's not how fair use works, that you can have, as long as you edit it and it's transformative, it's fair use, which my video was transformative, but he said he knows his copyright law. He's talked to lawyers and it's 15 to 30 seconds.
Doesn't that like completely go against like his entire channel? Like his channel was based on uploading streams entirely that other people posted, and then his content now is he reacts to other people's content. Like what is he talking about?
Exactly. And so it never made sense. I've tried to tell him, like, we've told him it was transformative. And I remember when YouTube took it down at first because he flagged it, and YouTube at first has to take they have to take it down legally. If you strike something and say, well, this is used by copyright, well, they immediately have to take it down and look into it first. So he was saying, oh, well, see, I didn't want it up and now it's not up. And I was like, well, that's not how it works. YouTube will instantly take it down just to review it and make sure that you guys can settle it out either between each other, or if it has to go to court, it'll go to court. But that doesn't mean because a video is off YouTube that it's not fair use. And at one point, I think I sent you a video of him saying, well, see, I didn't want those videos up and they're not up anymore. Well, a month later, they got reinstated. So, I mean...
Yeah, he done the same to me, and he's done the same to many other people. I know a lot of people haven't contested or anything like that. He really doesn't understand copyright. It's like, he left a comment in one of my videos. I made a video, RSN doesn't understand copyright or fair use or something like that. And he left a comment on it saying, I was okay in doing what I did in striking these because you know I don't like that clip of Amber saying that, and you know it makes me look bad and it's not a proper clip.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, you just admitted that it's not copyright abuse, it's you just don't like it.
Exactly. So I think what he has problems with is like morality and legality. So he's like, well, I obviously don't want it up, therefore if I want it down, it's down, and it's because I want it down and I don't want that video up and I have the rights to that video, therefore it's down and I don't want it. But that's not how copyright works. If you don't like something up, then you shouldn't have put it up. That's not anyone else's problem but your own. Like, if you don't want people using your own content against you, don't post it. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you can't.
Yeah. If you want that down, though, it's like you go through a different avenue. You don't use copyright to take down something that you don't like. Because it's nothing to do with copyright. You send a message. You say, hey, I don't like this. Can you take it down? You pursue some other path. You don't use the copyright tools for something that isn't to do with copyright.
Exactly. And
you don't
that's
report
why
a crime to the post office.
Honestly, I don't understand why he does that and why he continues to do that, because it's not that I don't think doesn't understand that it's. I think he understands it's wrong. I'm sorry, because he's talked about it with Onision flagging other people incorrectly. He's talked about false flagging before, so he knows it's false flagging. I just don't know why he doesn't want to admit that what he does is false flagging. You kind of set this up for yourself. You set up people wanting to upload your stuff because you delete your streams. You don't leave them up. You don't allow people to want to see what you talked about. You say certain things to your audience, but you don't want anyone else to know. Sorry if that's off topic, but that was just, he encourages an environment where people want to upload.
He does. I mean, for a long time, he stopped doing it now, but for a long time, you couldn't even rewind his streams. He had that setting on so that unless you were there from the start, you can't see it.
Exactly.
And there's no transparency there, and it's like, what are you hiding? And it's because he makes all these different fuck-ups on stream all the time, like talking to his dealer on the phone because he forgot to mute the microphone, or whatever else it is he's doing, and he does this stuff all the time.
It's unbelievable. And it's not even that. It's like forgetting the conversations that he has with his subscribers is unreal. It's unreal. Have you seen all the stuff with like Lori and like and him talking about getting crack and stuff like that? And I mean, that was 2 months ago. And I sent him that, and he was like, yeah, that was 2 months ago. Get over it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it happened yesterday.
Yeah, like, come on, dude, get over it. And he was trying to show me screenshots of like Amber C, the girl that claimed rape on him, how she in a tweet that wasn't talking about him, wasn't talking about anything. She says that she pretends to get really fucked up and drunk on the stage, and she acts more fucked up than usual. And he's like, see, this is proof that she's lying about it, the rape, and she's boasting it in my face.
He's trying to say he's got all this proof that she faked this and faked that, but like, there's no proof there at all. He's putting his own meaning to the
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was telling him, I'm like, who cares? Like, this doesn't prove anything. This is something a year later. She's not even talking about stuff from like back then. She's talking about stuff now where she's like a stripper. He
brings it up and then complains that I bring it up. Like, he's talking about Amber and ranting about
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody. Yeah. He draws attention to it himself, and he still blames us, you and I, for Amber and her coming out and her saying what she did, as if we encouraged her to. When she approached us, you and I, to talk about it, she was like, hey, I think I've been raped or something. And we were sitting there like, what?
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
What?
It's insanity. It's just... I can't deal with him. I don't know what goes through his mind.
He actually blocked me, or took me off a couple days ago because I told him no one cares about that Amber screenshot. No one's going to care. I said, no one's going to care. I was like, all this shit that you've gone through with other women. And he's like, other women? You believe these girls too, that they're victims? And then he fucking blocked me. Or remove me off of his thing.
It's nothing to do with about believing. Like, I don't believe that some of them are victims. Like, clearly some of them aren't impacted at all by him. But it doesn't excuse the things he's actually doing. Like, when he got on that stream and actually showed bloody nudes, like, it doesn't matter if those girls were victims or not. But it still shows the kind of guy he is, that he actually posted private images.
Right. And then he tried to blame that on, everybody else. He tried to pass on the blame to me, telling me...
You guys just don't get it. You guys just don't get it. You don't understand.
You guys wanted me to do the stream. He told me, Mass Babe, I called you before I did the stream, and I told you I was going to do it, and you told me to do it. I said, yeah, I thought you were going to explain the situation. You didn't tell me you were going to show nudes. He's like, yeah, I did, and you told me to. I was like, yeah? When did those words come out of my mouth? And he's like, well, you never told me to show nudes, but I told you. I was like, yeah, I didn't know. The messages that he was sending me about Amber, they were irrelevant. And he was like, see, this is proof that she's admitting to it right here about me. She's admitting it here in this. When the message said nothing about him, nothing about their scenario, nothing about anything. And it's like, where the fuck do you get this from? Where do you get this context that nobody else can see?
It must be the drugs. Like,
it must
be. I hope it's the drugs, because at least then he's got a bit of hope.
Oh my God.
If it's not the drugs, then I have no idea.
I was gonna say the people that are cheering him on, like Heaven, Marie, who else? I don't know any of the people that really support him anymore. Like, I'm not sure who his community is, because the number does dwindle more and more. But he does have the same people, the same nut jobs, like Amber Phoenix, her group of... all the people that he said he was going to ban and have gone forever are back modded. Yep. He's like, the drama's going to end, guys. I promise. This time it's over. And it's the same shit, the same cycle, 24/7.
It's as soon as like I say I'm about to make another video, and then he makes a video saying, okay, today we're talking about Onision and truthfully Trisha, but he spends the first half hour of the live stream trashing me and Amber before he even gets onto anything. So it's like, just what, like, for you used to do it to him as well. Anytime you mentioned you were making a video or whatever, the two of us, for whatever reason, just the mere mention of anything just sends him off into a frenzy. Yes. He can't concentrate. He has a breakdown. Like,
he freaks. I think it's the idea of quote unquote bigger YouTubers or YouTubers making a video, because it's different when someone like Tush, Raina, but when we or someone else, you know,
with followings,
step out and want to make videos about him, he starts to fret. That's where he starts to fret, because he's like, oh shit, this is stuff that is not within my control. It's not within my community. I can't just go and be like, oh, I'm going to falsely flag you down, or I'm going to send 4 of my confidants to have a conversation with you and take down the video. Like, that's not how we work. So
Mike, an actor, said RSN wanted to do some sort of interview with me, and I kept turning him down because he's got all these haters and crazy people associated with him, and I don't want anything to do with those haters.
Right.
And RSN's playing this on a stream this morning and says, this is proof that Mike, an actor, threw me under the bus. And it's like, what? What are you talking about?
That's the thing that blows my mind about CJ, is that he wants to be a YouTuber so fucking bad. So fucking bad.
Yeah.
But he cannot work with anybody. He can't work with anybody. Not one person on YouTube after they've talked to RealStream News or has worked or whatever wants to interact with him at all.
Has anyone actually had an interaction with him and then not had something negative come out of it?
No.
Like, everyone who interacts with him, maybe they're on good terms with him now, maybe they were on good terms with him at some point, but every single person has had some sort of drama with him. And he thinks it's everyone else's fault. Well, it's that old motto of, if you constantly have an issue with everyone else, maybe the issue is actually you. Maybe you're the problem.
Right. And that's what I've been trying to help him see. And he's like, no, you don't understand. You don't get me. Everyone else doesn't fucking understand him. I'm like, do you think you're Einstein? Do you think you're a fucking genius? I told him that. I was like, do you think that nobody can understand you? That you're just too fucking smart to understand? And he's like, no, that's not it. But you guys don't understand. I'm like, well, so what? Where are we, dude?
Understand. What are we not understanding? Please tell us.
He's like, you guys weren't there. And, you know, that's what I love. I love when he tells people, you guys weren't there for that stream, or you guys weren't there for that.
Because he was streaming everything the whole fucking time.
And it's like, what if we were there? What about if we do know everything? What about if we did talk to that person? What about if everything in that situation we know? Like, what?
I asked Amber about this earlier. I was speaking to her, and I was like, when you were there, didn't you find it strange how you're there with this guy, you're in a hotel room, and he just sits there streaming the whole time you're in this room? Like, what if you want to go to the bathroom? Like, that isn't that awkward? Like, what if you want to go for a nap or something? And he's just sitting there being creepy, streaming in the corner all day, and you're in a hotel together. Like, why are you even there? She says that she enjoyed the free time when he went out in the mornings to like the clinic, because that was the only privacy she got, because when he was there, he was always streaming.
Oh my god.
Do you believe he is a danger to others, online or offline?
Yes.
Yes. In what way would you say that he's a danger?
He is a danger in the sense that he will pick on vulnerable women, and he doesn't know that he's doing it. He does it because that's what he does. Look at all the trends with women that he's talked to on the internet, and his excuse is always, well, I'm a single man. I'm a single YouTuber. I'm a single young man. Why can't I have conversations with women and stuff like that?
And they're all troubled people as well. None of them
all of them. All of them. And he's like, well, I've picked a few bad apples. And I'm like, no, they've all been bad apples, not a few. Like, I told him, you have a position over these women, a power of them. And he's like, wow, I'm a channel with 8,000 subscribers. Really, Mass Babe? How do I have a power dynamic between these women? Are you serious? And I was like, these women look up to you for some reason. Don't ask me why. I don't get it. But these women want to be with you. They find you desirable. They think you're attractive. They think you for some reason.
Sick.
I know. I don't get it. But some of these girls really do. And that's, you have influence. You're a YouTuber to them, no matter 8,000 or what. That's more than they have.
Yeah, he's got a couple of hundred viewers on his stream. They've got like 3 or something.
Not exactly. So you will always hold a more power over them, or more influence, or you're just cooler, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you messing with girls that are sitting here talking about cutting themselves and all this stuff, and you know that they're fucking batshit insane? and you're messing with them. And then he's like, well, I'm just having a friends with benefits thing. I don't see what's wrong with that. And I'm like, these are your subscribers.
He was telling everyone, I don't find Laurie attractive. I think she's quite disgusting and all this sort of stuff. Then these DMs come out and Laurie releases and he's asking her for nudes and saying, oh, let me see and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, well, that's gross.
Yes.
And she lets him do it. She sees these messages in like his Discord where he's like, I'm not attracted to Laurie's body, and then she still like has these conversations. Like, that's how low her self-esteem is, yet she still preys on that. Over the last year or so, there have been many occasions where people have thought that RSN was entirely off the rails. One notable instance was a time where he was doing a live stream and he stood up from his chair to go take a phone call, but he forgot to mute his microphone. And when you amplify the sound and you listen in to what was being said on this phone call, it sounds an awful like he was on the phone to a drug dealer.
Bear with me though for a second. Hold on, guys.
No. So yeah, you don't. No, like I got no cash right now. I can give you like my stream, like it's like about $150. So I'll do it, use it every day. You can like first thing in the morning. My stream, like it's like it's $150. Like professional microphone is what I use in stream.
That's bad.
Huh? No, the whole point is you hold on to it, that way you know I'm gonna get the only give the money in the morning is my point. You should know by now anyway if you really want. Alright, so can I stand by? No.
Apparently they can hear him in the stream.
No. You got it.
Oh, I know they can hear me.
No, like they can hear CJ because he muted himself in Hangouts, but he didn't mute himself on the stream.
RSN later admitted that this is exactly what had happened, and when I and many others called him out for this, he tried to shame us by saying that we were using a moment of weakness in his life for attention and clout.
You're so much of a low life that in a bad moment that, you know, when I did talk to my drug dealer, you make that into a point, like that's something to do. Dude, that's disgusting. You are a fucking disgusting human being. You know, you really fucking are.
Another time he was off the rails is perhaps a far more serious instance, and this is when the so-called revenge porn stream went down. Essentially what had happened here is RealStream News had a lot of drama with key members of his community, his Discord mods, YouTube mods, and friends, and certain fans. He had a lot of back and forth drama with these people, and he had acquired nudes from many of them in various different ways. Some of those nudes were sent to him directly, other nudes he had found on social media or in not safe for work channels and Discord servers. Now these women had really gotten him annoyed and worked up. So he got on stream one night and he's streaming away as he normally does, but he's mad. And he starts encouraging people, keep disliking the stream, keep disliking the stream. If we get a certain amount of donations, if we get a $40 donation, I will leak these nude images. I will show these nude images on stream. And the stream kind of goes on like that.
So,
please,
real quick, hold on, let me look at the chat real fast. So are you guys just trying to start some shit? Are you guys good? Because anybody who's an ex-mod knows that there's a lot of shit that's there. So do you guys want to see this stuff? Do you guys want to see the things that people sent me? Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see the reason moderators were banned? Do you guys want to see the conversations? Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see that? The nudes that they sent me unsolicited to my, personal fucking text messages? Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see? Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to show that, but I can blur them out so you guys can see. Because I've had enough of these people. Because hold on, let me see how many people are Let me see how people here are, you know, downvoting this video. I'm just curious. Hold on, let's, so I'm pretty sure I said if we keep getting downvotes, I'm just gonna, you know, expose it. Because I know who's doing it, and I've had enough of it. Oh, 56! 56, you don't say. You don't motherfucking say. You don't say, huh? 56 dislikes. Yeah, it seems like you guys want to see these. Seems like you guys want to see this. Okay, look, if we can get $40 donation, I will literally show you guys exactly what happened. You guys want to donate $40 through Streamlabs, the link's in the description, and I will show you guys. You know, I'm actually not gonna show nudes, but I'll blur it out. But you guys, you'll know who it is, cause I've had enough of this bullshit. I've had enough of this bullshit. You dumb fucks want to downvote these videos, and you want to act like this is a fucking game and this is funny. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for disliking these streams over and over and over again. I like it. I like it. I'm glad you guys are doing this because, you know what? I've had enough. You know, this is good times. Good times. And you know what? You guys are shopping around these fucking nudes and saying that somehow I'm like the bad guy because you sent these. No. I never asked for these. You guys sent these fucking things. So yeah, let's do this. Let's see what happened. Let's see if they enjoy this. I hope there's 100 now because I will do this every day until you guys literally fuck off.
Eventually, he does show the nudes. Now, he thinks it was okay because the nudes were a little bit blurred out. I cannot show you, simple out of basic respect and human decency, what he showed on his stream. But I can play for you the audio of when he was showing these images.
I'm done. And I may just do it every day. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make it like, you know, a fucking Sunday special every day. This is low, bro. You're right. Very low. Yup. And I don't care. Nope. Getting released right now. Sorry, guys. Don't care. I don't want anybody trying to spin this in as in, oh, yeah, RealStream. Yeah, you did this or that. No. These people fucking did this, and that's it. These people are motherfucking cheaters and pieces of shit. I told them to fuck off. I told them to stop disliking my shit, but they didn't listen. They had to keep going. They had to motherfucking keep going. Had to keep going. Had to. And the more you dislike my shit, I will do it every other day. Don't care. Who is this? Who is this? Who the motherfuck is this? Oh no. Who is this, man? I don't know who this is. Who is this, guys? Tell me. Do you guys know who this is? Who is this? I don't know. I don't know who this is. Who is this? I wonder who this is. I wonder who this is. Who's this? Who's this? Who is this? I wonder who this is. I wonder. This is Witchy, who's got a fiance, but she was posting this in the Discord in the NSFW, and I asked her, why are you posting these here? Are you trying to get my attention? And she just giggled and said, no. All right, but the point is, and then what's another picture she'd post? There would be this one. All right, there's more. This is like maybe half. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to release more tomorrow. Wait, how many dislikes we got? Oh, motherfucking 87. 87. Check it out. All right, and then, you know, we got motherfucking Tush here, you know, Rue. We got motherfucking Rue here, you know what I mean? Releasing fucking, you know, tit pics, pussy pics, all that shit, you know, why not, man, right? You know, it's the cool thing to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Right, guys, right? This is a cool thing to motherfucking do. Oh, the problem is that these assholes said that fucking, like, I was trying to coerce them to get nudes when they literally sent them out of nowhere. Fucking never asked them for these fucking pictures, but they sent them, and as soon as I banned them for this type of bullshit behavior, they acted like I was the asshole. Fuck you. You were the assholes who released these. Oh, check it out. More Tush right here. More Root doing more bullshit like that. Woo! Look at that. Wow. 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 You did ask. No, motherfucker, I never did. Fuck you. I never did. Shut the fuck up. Guess what? You've been exposed. And you know what? You can act like I'm a piece of shit. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You know who's a real piece of shit? You. You. Yeah, you know what? I am pretty petty. You know why? Because I said, leave me alone, stop disliking my videos, and fuck off. If the dislikes aren't brought down to like literally 20, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And then I say, I'm not even fucking around. Yeah. And here's another Rue right here. Oh, look. She looks pretty much... What does this look like to you? What does this look like to you? I don't know, man. I don't know. This looks pretty sketchy to me. If you fucking assholes keep fucking disliking these videos and talking shit, I am going to continue to do this at least twice a week for the next month. I'm done. I'm done letting you motherfuckers try to manipulate everybody around here. I'm done. But yeah, this is fun. This is interesting. I hope this continues. I really fucking hope this continues. Oh, no. These were all sent to me. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Why don't you do your homework and shut the fuck up? I don't give a... No. You know why? Because it's been blurred out. Revenge porn is showing actual nudes. So shut the fuck up. So, no, it doesn't look like any of you guys are fucking supporting me. It seems like a lot of you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. None of you fucking know what happened. So, fuck you. Fuck you. It's alright. I'm just gonna release it again in the morning. Literally. You know what? I think I'm going to do it every day for a week. Every day for a week. Every day for a week. And they have the nerve to dislike this. If you guys think I'm joking, I will do this again tomorrow. And if anybody wants to act like I'm in the wrong, if anybody acts like I'm in the wrong, I'm going to release every single DM there is. So you guys can see the proof. Alright? I'm done. I'm done with this fucking bullshit. I'm done. Guys, have a motherfucking nice night, alright? And anybody who doesn't believe me, get fucked.
Many people saw this stream. I don't know a single person who saw this stream that did not condemn what happened. There were some people who heard about the stream and believed his explanation of it, and he had said he blurred out the images. But any of those people who had actually then gotten access to the original copy of the stream immediately changed their tunes and condemned what he had done. The issue was he hadn't really blurred out the pictures very well. For example, there was a picture of a girl who was topless, and he didn't blur out the entire breasts. He blurred out the nipples with a tiny little circle. So you could still see the person's face, you could still see the remainder of their breasts, you could still see what everything was. There was another one and it was their genitals, and you could still make out it was someone's genitals. These were blurred slightly, but they were not blurred or distorted enough for things to be properly distorted and for people not to be able to recognize what was in those images. After he had shown those images, his chat was all very much against him, and he started ranting at the chat, and he was complaining about his fans, saying they were horrible and that they were all just backstabbing him, and none of them had any decency or didn't understand what he was about. Prior to when he did the revenge porn stream, as it's known, can you just give like a short brief summary of your history with CJ, just to like give people a little bit of background on what was going on there?
Oh yeah, I was the admin of his Discord server, and he was a good friend of mine for like 7 or 8 months before the revenge porn stream. Like, I provided him with like content. Like, I used to go and record content for him and stuff, like when he would miss live streams and things.
Yeah.
And I managed his Discord server, so we were pretty close friends.
From your perspective, what was going through your mind when he actually did that stream? Like, was that something you would have expected from him, or was that like a complete shock to you that he actually got on stream, was having a breakdown, screaming about people disliking his video and how he was fed up with people treating him like crap, so then he starts showing your nude images and other people's nude images? How, like, was that shocking to you?
Oh yeah, like I still, like when I think of it, like I start to get shaky because it's so upsetting. But prior to when he did that, he actually like sent me very threatening text messages saying that he was going to do that, blackmailing me essentially. Saying that he was going to do that. But when he actually did it, I was asleep, and one of my friends who watches him started like blowing up my phone to tell me what he was doing.
Yeah, it's always worse when you find out from someone else, isn't it? You're trying to sleep or you're doing something else, and suddenly your phone goes off, and oh my god, there's a situation here, and it just causes even more panic, even more stress than it would have in the first place.
Oh yeah, like I got like 20 phone calls within 5 minutes, which is what woke me up.
I find it odd and concerning because he seems to have a lot of different nude pictures. I mean, he didn't show all the ones he had, I'm sure, but there are many people he has asked for nude images, and he seems to get them from a lot of people. And I was having a conversation with someone earlier, and they said that they think what he does is he's asking people for these images, not even because he's always interested, but because he knows he can use those as leverage if people try and mess with him or whatever else. I mean, I'm sure he even said something like that himself at one point. He said nudes for loyalty type thing on his Discord.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he said at one point that he does that because it's for people to prove their worth and so that they won't mess with him.
Well, Marie did say that she had been in a voice chat with him at one point, and he said that he he got women's nudes so that he would know where their like head is at, is how he worded it.
Yeah.
And then he just basically hoards them so that you can prove your loyalty to him, almost like you're in a cult.
But one of the stranger ones I always thought was those DMs that were leaked from him and Laurie. And meanwhile, he's telling everyone that Laurie's disgusting and making fun of her and saying, oh, I have no interest in Laurie, her body's not attractive to me. But then these DMs come out and he's asking her if he can see her pictures and if she'll give him this and give him that. And I think that speaks large volumes to the kind of guy that he is and the manipulation going on there. He's trying to take images, and maybe he's just lying to everyone else, and his standards are low and he is interested, or maybe it is because he wants that leverage. I don't know.
He with the Laurie situation was always really weird because he would talk to me and other people. Like, I know he talked with me and Marie at one point and basically told us that she's crazy, that there was nothing going on with them, and that she's just lying. All of it's made up. They weren't sexting. None of that. And that's why Laurie released those DMs in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he had gaslit her to the point where she actually thought she was insane.
Yeah, it seems like it might have just been either he was embarrassed or ashamed of speaking to her, I don't know, or I've no idea what was really going on there, but it shows you the kind of guy he is, the fact that actually happened.
Yeah, it's incredibly scummy. It's disgusting.
Now, going back to the specific revenge porn live stream, obviously he did that stream one day and he took tremendous heat for that. Everyone was mad at him. Even his most hardcore supporters were angry at him over that. Anyone who saw that stream was angry and knew that was not okay. Even people who had defended him in the Amber situation and everything else, no one was happy with him there. And he started trashing the people watching him, saying they were all betraying him as well for calling him out for it. But it wasn't too long after that he'd done a similar thing to Truthfully Trisha. Now, it wasn't exactly the same because Truthfully Trisha had, like, what was it, an OnlyFans or something? Like, she had some other stuff out there. It wasn't quite the same, but he still decided to get on stream and was using her sort of sexual images and work as a way to try and then demean her.
Oh my god. Just want to grab you here and punch you in the face. I swear to God.
Trisha here has entered the great world of being an ethot, you know? And I heavily blurred these pictures so nobody can bitch at me. She's not even nude in any of them, but I still blurred them because I'm afraid that someone's going to say, oh, revenge porn and this and that.
And he's showing this stuff on his stream, and he's not showing Truthfully Trisha's nudes because he's like, oh, look, those are nice nudes. Or he's doing it because he's trying to put her down. He's trying to demean women using their nudes.
She was horrified after the stream that he would sit there and post her images up there and attempt to degrade her in the way that he did.
Yeah, I think your case is the strongest there, because some of the other cases, people had posted them already on Twitter or had posted their images on Discord. It still didn't make what he did okay, but the case wasn't quite as strong, whereas yours, he was taking private images and posting them public, and there's a bit of a difference there. But to talk specifically about when you take something from Twitter or from Discord, it's like how Witchy, her images were in some not safe for work sections on a couple of Discord servers, and now some people have tried to use that to justify him doing it since they were already kind of out there. But I still think there's a tremendous difference between posting something privately in a not safe for work server, you know who's in that server, it's just to maybe tens of people, comparing that to then he puts it out to thousands of people on his channel, potentially hundreds of thousands if he was to gain subscribers. I think there's no comparison there, but there have been a lot of people who try and discredit that sort of thing there and say these people have no case, but I think they still have a bit of a case.
Yeah, it's still highly inappropriate. Like, at a minimum, it's highly inappropriate to take photos like that. And then he pretended on the nude stream that they had sent those to him directly, unsolicited. And he didn't admit until afterwards when screenshots came out that they were posted, like, in a Discord server and stuff. Like, that's the only time he admitted it, and you still had to fight, people still had to fight to get him to admit that they weren't sent to him directly.
A recurring theme or pattern, so to speak, with RSN is his constant need to ask people for donations. He asks for them on stream all the time, and he does $2 text-to-speech. Now that in itself is not always a negative thing. Lots of streamers ask for donations, but the manner in which RSN does it, he does it so often, so frequently, that it's very much in your face. As we mentioned earlier, he even at one point asked for donations in order to leak nude images of girls. But outside of donations, he's also prone to asking people such as his moderators and friends for money. In fact, his current and past moderators on his YouTube and Discord are responsible for the vast majority of his recording equipment. They bought him his computer, his microphone, and lots of other things. But what's most unfortunate about all of this and the fact that people are giving him money is that it seems as though a lot of this money is being wasted on his habit. And what do I mean by his habit? Well, I mean his drug habit. There was even a story at one point that someone had sent a message to one of his friends and moderators, Heaven, who is a sick old lady. And this person had claimed to be a drug dealer, and they had said that Heaven better send them $200 to their PayPal, or else they were going to kill RSN. Heaven then allegedly sent the $200 to this person. Many people do criticise RSN for taking money and asking for money and begging for donations from his fans, especially when you consider someone such as Heaven Sent, who, as I mentioned, is a sick old lady. It doesn't help that the vast majority of the people who are moderators or friends with CJ are people who have lived troubled lives or who have their own issues. So it certainly looks to a lot of people like he is exploiting these individuals. Another person who has given CJ a lot of money is former moderator of his, Laurie. Can you give me a summary of your history with RSN, like how you first came to know him and just sort of like the friendship or relationship type thing over the time you've known him?
Well, when I first started, when I first saw him, on YouTube, I was an Onision patron at the time, and it was, his very first video, so, I've been around, since the beginning. I commented in his streams when he started doing live streams, but I didn't really, get involved until, last October. And that's when I started getting really involved, and he, reached out to me, and he, hit me up and started flirting with me, and I was, caught off guard by that, because I'm I don't really know you, you don't really know me, and I sent him some pictures, but...
Well, so, your current association with him, he doesn't like you, he said he hates you at the moment.
Yeah, me and him, over, the past year, we've had, some good moments, some bad moments. Right
Yeah.
now, he thinks I'm best friends with Tush, and Tush and I don't like each other. And I tried explaining that to
Okay.
him, and he's like, well, you tried to go back to her recently, and I'm like, no, we were being cordial.
Yeah.
We were being cordial and friendly. That doesn't mean that we're cool.
So, what would you say are your opinions of him as a person? Are they more good, the more bad? What are
I
they?
think he's capable of being a good person, but right now he's just being a big dum-dum.
So you think he's a good guy who makes a lot of bad decisions?
Yeah, and he's easily manipulated, and I think it's because he cares, like, about having people on his side. Because right now he has a mod that's trying to control everything, and he shouldn't have given this person mod status to begin with, given their history.
And which mod is that?
Phoenix.
I'm going to ask a bit more specifically now. So, there was a little bit back, and I made a video and I was talking about the time where he owed you money. Did you ever get the money back that he owed you?
I got most of the money, like, directly from him. I did some chargebacks for Streamlabs donations, and that pretty much covered the rest of it. And
And how much was that in total that he owed you?
he borrowed from me in total $115.
And outside of the money that he borrowed, you have bought him things in the past.
Yeah,
correct?
I bought him a Chromebook for Christmas last year.
Okay.
I got him a Valentine's Day present. I got him birthday presents. One of my favorite pictures of him is him, the Valentine's gift that I gave him. It's him with a fucking teddy bear.
Did he ever give you any gifts back? I mean, I don't need to know what they are. I'm just wondering if he did or not.
No, but I didn't expect anything back. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart.
So do you think you had some sort of friendship, or did you think it was more like a fan sort of creator type relationship?
Well, I considered him like my best friend. We talked every single day for like months.
Okay.
And there was a while that
okay.
me and him had a disagreement, and we'd go like a week without talking, and I'd be absolutely upset because I'm like, what did I do? Like, what, do you hate me? But I'm a very insecure person.
So, obviously, there's been a lot of scandals over the past couple of years. You're aware, I'm sure, of most of them. And you've stuck by his side for the most part. So what is it that makes you stick by his side? Is it because you believe that he genuinely is a good guy and he's just making bad decisions, or is there another reason for that?
I think he makes very stupid decisions. Like, he's an idiot.
He's very reactionary.
Yeah.
He reacts. He doesn't think. He just does.
But I relate to him on that part. Like, I find him very relatable.
Yeah.
I've had similar scandals in my past, but I'm not gonna divulge into it because a lot of it's been debunked. But it was like isolated events. He's very entertaining, per se.
Well, the shit shows certainly are very entertaining. But sometimes it can get a bit out of hand.
Yeah. The thing with the money that got me so upset is that it came out that he was actively using, and I was already suspicious of that.
Yeah.
And I got very upset. I felt used and manipulated.
Yeah.
And he'll say till he's blue in the face that he didn't manipulate me, but he played off my emotions, knowing that I cared for him.
Well, yeah, I've seen the screenshots of your conversations where he's asking you for the money, and he's certainly playing to you as if, oh, you're a good friend. I'm sorry, I'm having to ask you for this, but can you give me the money? He's
he even called me at work one day. I was at work one day, and he called me, and he told me that he didn't really want to ask me this, that he felt like an asshole, and I'm like, ask me. Now you got me curious. Ask me. And he's asking me for money, and I told him to let me think about it because I was a little bit mad at him at that point. But I got over it. I called him when I got out of work, and I gave him the money.
Well, I mean, you say you were upset because he was using and he had been asking you for money, and obviously he was spending that money.
Yeah, and he was also asking other people for money too while he still owed me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
Like,
yeah, he was taking donations and stuff on stream, and he's constantly $2 text-to-speech, $2 donation, $2 donation, get us to $50 and I'll do this, get us to this and I'll do this. And to me, it was always quite clear that a lot of that money was funding his habit on the side. And I mean, I just look at people such as Heaven, who's an old woman and she's ill, and she's sending him all this money, and he's spending, I'm sure, a lot of it on drugs and stuff, and that's just always sat the wrong way with me. And I think it's exploiting people. And I think when I look at this objectively, I mean, you look at the people. I mean, you yourself admit you're very insecure. You've had a rough past, and I mean, a lot of these other people who are giving him money and who are around him are all people who are troubled or who have had troubled pasts. And when I look at it, I look at it as exploitation, and it makes me a bit angry, because these aren't just. It's not like someone who's got a great life is the one who's sending him money. It's not like there's normal people, so to speak. I didn't want to say normal because that's a strange way to phrase it, but you know what I mean. It's not like a bunch of people who are having great lives just coming on, watching his stream and saying, oh, here's a donation for you. It's people who are actually having issues of their own, and people who are, I think, being exploited.
Yeah, people who have good hearts and can sympathize with the struggle and want to help out whatever they can. And I have a big flaw with that. But
well, yeah, some people, that's their flaw. It's they're too generous, or they're too nice, or they get taken advantage of all the time. Other people, it's the opposite way around, and they never give anyone anything. They're not very nice type thing. But it goes both ways. Just if there's anything else you would like to add about anything.
Well, he's a dork. That's what keeps me watching, is because he acts like such a weirdo on streams, and it just makes me laugh. That I find entertaining. The drama and everything. I do feel like he uses certain people for content, and he's trying to be like Jerry Springer.
In June 2019, RSN was involved in what is perhaps his most recent, verifiable, large scandal. Now, what happened here was one day RSN posted a video about how someone had called the cops on him. It was only 1.5 minutes long, and in this video you see RSN walking down the street, and he's saying to the camera that someone called the cops on him, and they told the cops that he had murdered his grandma.
Someone just called, the rescue and said that they said that I was gonna kill my grandmother. I just had to come all the way here for this. This is fucked up. But yeah.
He then claims that the police had been sent out to his house because of that, and his grandma had had a stroke over it.
That's it. Yeah, that's your door. Yeah.
In this video, he walks up past the police officers, and he's essentially like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's going on?
Which a lot of people have pointed out was kind of strange, because if you had the cops called on you and you were a murder suspect, then it seems strange that the cops would react to you like that. And then he walks around the house a little bit in the video, and he gives a bit more information. Now, there was a lot going on here, because it was believed by a lot of people that it was one of the females who had been feuding with him. Remember back at the revenge porn stream stuff, one of those girls was believed to perhaps have been the one who had called the cops on him. Tush, who I spoke to earlier in this video, was one of the people who was believed to be a main suspect here. It also did not help that someone had texted CJ using a UK phone number and had told him that they were going to call the cops on him. However, all of this ended up not being what it seemed. With the help of Lola Bohemia, I managed to report that in fact no one had called the police on CJ. Lola on camera called up his local police station to ask about dispatch reports and to ask about any cop cars that were sent to his house. And as is heard on the recorded call, Lola is told by the police officer that the only car that was sent out to the house was in response to a medical call.
It was, and it was Maxie that called in herself, right? Oh, sure, yeah.
It was a medical call. It's not really a police matter. We didn't take anything before. Obviously we do go there because it's a rescue call. But outside of that, if it was on nothing suspicious that requires police, then we don't take a report on it. So,
okay.
you have any other, if you need any other information regarding that, you can contact. Maybe they can help you.
Okay. What time did she call in at? And that's pretty much just about it.
Early in the morning, around 7:40 in the morning.
7:40 in the morning. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Anyone could call up and ask themselves. I mean, they don't just have to take your word for it or my word for it. Anyone can call up and ask for this information and ask and make sure that what calls were made to this residence on this date. And it's quite clear. They'll tell you the only call that was made out was a medical call. There was never anyone getting swatted. There was never anyone calling up saying someone had been murdered. Nothing like that had happened.
Right. Yeah. And in a small town, even if any of that were true, in a small town, that would be put in their media.
Yeah. No one called reporting any sort of murder or attempted murder or anything of the sort. The only call that was made came from inside the house. It was his grandma or himself calling because she was having a medical emergency. Meanwhile, RSN was doing his best to milk the situation and garner sympathy. He was even streaming the next day asking people for donations. And spoiler alert, people did donate. As far as the phone number that had sent CJ some text goes, well, Lola did some digging into that as well and found that it was actually a spoof number.
With the phone number, that was looked up easily by finding the origin of who provided it, which was a company that works in telephony, which is basically fake phone numbers for texting and what have you, hiding it. And I showed you the website for that as well.
However, there was still some confusion, and to this day there has still been a lot of confusion as to who actually sent those text messages. There was a lot of confusion, and for a time it seemed as though Jilly Lees was being blamed for this. And that fact led CJ to start telling people that Jilly was the one who called the cops on him. But Jilly never sent these text messages, and Jilly never called the cops. No one called the cops on RSN. But a lot of people did believe that it was Jilly who had sent the text messages at first, until it came out that she wasn't even aware of what was going on. And just for some background, Jilly is just a random person who has been involved in a lot of this drama, kind of on the sidelines, someone who has been looking in and commenting on the odd video here and there, and who has also been talking to a lot of the people involved. Essentially what had happened was RSN posted this video saying that, oh, someone's called the cops on me, saying that I killed my gran. And so he's recording himself walking to the house. There's like a cop car outside and he's like, yo, what's up? Like, that was really strange. And he's claiming essentially that someone had swatted him. Now, it turned out later, Lola called the police station, and the only cop car that ever went out there was in response to a medical emergency. And now he had claimed that whoever had called the cops on him and tried to swat him ended up making his grandma have a stroke because of the stress and them showing up at the house. This was obviously not the truth, because the only car that was sent out was in response to this medical emergency. So that's why they were there. So he's decided to use this instance to try and say that someone else has done this. Now that came because someone did text him. He did receive text, and that was from a number that was reverse searched to the UK. So to his knowledge, it was someone from the UK had tried to basically swat him, and he was going to use that because he had the evidence of someone saying I'm going to do this or whatever. So he then used that story when they showed up to his grandma, who was actually having some sort of medical emergency, and he used that to try and put blame on someone else. Now, a lot of people think it's you. They think it's Jilly. So explain that.
I was sent a DM after, before all this happened. The reason this all even happened was he went on a live stream trying to out Touche again, and he was showing messages of her, sending him nudes and stuff, and we were in a voice chat, and this was the same night that Marie was trying to get up on his panel, and he kept saying, oh, we can't hear you, unmute yourself, but he had actually muted her. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That was all the same night, and all us girls were in the voice chat talking about it, and we were like, and that was kind of it. And then like a few days later, I get a message in Discord saying, by the way, I've spoken to Tush privately, and she's going to say, we'll just pin this on Jilly, that she called the police on him because she's in the UK and nothing can be done. And I was asleep. And then the next day I messaged Tush and I'm like, oh my God, have you seen the video that he posted about someone trying to go into his call his gran, or say that someone killed his gran? She's like, yeah, I think it's a load of shit.
There was text messages that were sent to him, someone threatening to call the police or whatever else and say these things. And I think obviously these text messages, which are legit, are where he's gotten his story. He's obviously thought, oh, well, I could adapt these text messages and make this into a bigger thing, and no one's going to know, no one's going to catch me out. But they did. These text messages, he believes that Jilly sent these text messages, and he was talking about it on stream earlier today. He was on stream, and he tried to show some screenshots of Jilly. Now, Jilly was saying that she was annoyed because people had tried to pin this on her. People had tried to pin it on her, when in reality she had no idea what was even going on until after the fact. And her saying that she hadn't done it and someone was trying to pin her on it, he's taken this as an admission of guilt. So he was on stream this morning saying, look at this message. This is Jilly admitting that she did this. And that isn't what the messages said at all. Like, how he got that, I don't know where his reading comprehension levels are. He's like a 7-year-old or something. I don't know. So my question to you is, do you know who sent these text messages? And I was also told that you were trying to pin it on Jilly as well. Is that true?
No, absolutely not. Everyone knows that the call was fake.
Well, yeah, I'm talking specifically about the text messages, though.
I know who sent those text messages.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to name them.
Well, that's fine.
I do know who sent the text messages. Like, they're very real.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never denied that the text messages are real.
Yeah.
They didn't come from me. But the reason that those were sent by someone is because he was threatening to leak nudes again. So they wanted to scare him. I think that was the idea. Like, I wasn't part of the conversation when that happened. I was told about it after the fact.
Okay. Because I was told that basically the number was fake. I think Lola did the whole reverse search thing. She found that the number was a fake number. It wasn't a real thing at all. But he's convinced it is real and that it's someone in the UK, and that's why he's convinced that it was in fact Jilly who did that.
Oh my God.
And he was talking about it on stream today.
Number.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at the carrier was like Tisme or something. That's not even a UK carrier. That's not a real network.
And I've got all these messages with the dates and stuff of me talking to these girls saying what I think happened. Why would I be telling them what I think happened if we were all in on this? Trying to get him in trouble. Nobody cared, especially not me. The proof of me doing this is a message that I sent to Marie saying how upset I am that I'm being accused of being an alcoholic that calls the police and doesn't remember it. So when I messaged her, I was sad last night, and I was really, really upset last night because I thought we were all really close. I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. I thought we're all close. I wake up one day, the Discord's gone. So I didn't know that they were behind the scenes lying about me or lying about each other. And so when I messaged Marie last night saying, and kind of know the story of what happened with the police call and what happened, and what I was meaning by that was that someone was trying to pin it on me.
Yeah.
Because I live in the UK and it would be an easy way out and that no one's going to do anything. But there's just other things that didn't make sense. But someone was telling me that they were going to call the police. Someone did tell me that they were going to call the police on him, but they couldn't get through or something like that. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think that's where all the confusion has come from, because there was someone who texted him. And
they didn't just tell me. There was other girls that this person told. This individual had told me. They told Jessica. They told Hecate, Sophie, whatever her name is. They told us 3 girls, by the way, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police on CJ.
Yeah.
This girl told us this. And we're like, oh, okay. And then the next day he gets swatted. And Then this girl says, "Oh, I didn't actually call the police. I just said to you all I did. But let's pin it on Jilly because she's in the UK." That's what happened.
Yeah, and then it was so confusing because we all thought, that Tush actually did call the police, but she didn't.
Yeah. No, yeah, we thought she did because she told us she did.
I messaged RSN being like, I believe you and stuff, and he was acting all weird about it. I'm like, why is he acting so weird? And it was the next morning I woke up to a message from Lola, who had called the damn police and asked them, and no one called them. No one called them. It was the only call came from inside the house because they were going there for a medical emergency. Yeah, so obviously he had used this threat and just made the threat into what obviously has come to be now.
The only reason that any of us are involved, me or you or Lola, the only reason we're involved is because the girls that are now sitting in his Discord are the ones that involved us. So you've got Phoenix, who started sending me messages talking about how he's been harassing her for 10 years. You've got, and I was going on and on with this girl, listening to the shit spew out of her mouth. And all of it's garbage, and I fell for it all, and I just feel I'm so angry that I spent any time or wasted any of my energy, emotional energy on these people because they're all liars, and now they're sitting in his streams calling me a liar or calling me a criminal because I made a false police report on someone when I was the one that said, can you please get this call? Ask RSN to get the call because it's not going to be someone from Scotland. It's not going to be someone with my accent calling the police. Because I kind of thought, it was Tush that called the police. So I was like, get the call because you'll find out who done it. But then I messaged Tush and I said, like, what if he gets the call and it's your voice? And she was like, don't worry, it's not going to be my voice. I have those messages too because we spoke about it. So if we had this plan that we were going to, destroy him and call the police, why would we be having private conversations where I'm saying to her, by the way, you might get in trouble for this.
He keeps saying, oh, everyone's always just trying to find some bullshit on me. Everyone's always trying to make some big deal out of something. And to an extent, I can understand, okay, there could be maybe 1 or 2 occasions where people have made things up about him. Maybe. But the amount of things that have been made up, this isn't an innocent guy. If he was innocent, there wouldn't be so many. Sometimes you have to just think when you're always the center of all these problems. Maybe the problem isn't everyone else. The problem is you. The problem is you, and you're the one who's with your shitty behavior. Maybe some people exaggerate certain things. Maybe some of the people accusing you of things are lying about certain details. But the fact comes down to it's always you who's in the center of it, and that's because you are a problem.
Yes, and the majority of the claims came out against him all came from people inside his camp. He reminded me of an ex, an abusive, horrible piece of shit. So when anyone would come to me with their issues, I'd be like, well, I'm willing to help you because I've been through this before. Marie going on and on and on about him mocking her disabled, unwell, sick child. She went on for days in a Discord, and I was listening to this, believing it. We're all upset for her. Well, I don't know if anyone else was, but I genuinely was. Turns out that didn't even happen. He didn't mock her child. She lied. He keeps letting them back. They keep going back. They all deserve each other. It's going to get out there. They're all trouble, all of them, including Heaven. I don't care who would be involved with someone like that unless they enjoy this. She came into that Discord and told us all that his drug dealer had threatened her that he was going to die if she didn't give him $200. So she PayPal'd $200 to the PayPal account. And I said, what drug dealer would give a stranger their name? Because your name's got to be on the PayPal.
Yeah. I bet it was RSN with a fake name and a voice changer.
Well, that's exactly what it was. Or one of his pals. He said to one of his pals, "Can you pretend to be a drug dealer?
You think he has
get
friends?
Some money?" Yeah. Well, he might. Fuck no. But every junkie has another junkie friend. We go together to go get drugs. And another one, that Harvard, who's back in his Discord, came into the girls' Discord and said, "You'll never guess what happened to me." I've just went to see RSN and meet him, and he's taken money at my PayPal account. He's stolen thousands from me. My lawyer's involved, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he's just taken $200 off of Heaven, and now he's met up with you, and he's stolen all this money out of your thousands of pounds out your PayPal account. And she's like, yeah, I'm getting my lawyer involved, and then she just stopped talking. But then someone messaged him and sent me the messages, and he said, I didn't steal money from Harvard. We both went to get drugs and got beat up by the drug dealer. So what's the true story? Or like, and he admitted that they got beat up. Well, that's what he said. But there was never any bruises on them.
Mm-hmm.
None of them had bruises. Well, he never had any bruises. So he would let a girl get beat up. Okay, just none of it made sense. It was all lies, and he was just trying to wring his way out because he was obviously fucking high at the time. Because we know that's when he relapsed. Because he goes for these people that have like got issues.
Yeah, they've all got issues and troubled pasts.
Yeah, but I mean actual issues where they're on medication and stuff. Like they're the people that can manipulate.
Old ladies and ill people.
Yeah, or people that have that are desperate to be loved, like how he was taking money off. He was taking money off Laurie, but then telling the girls, "Oh, I can't stand Laurie. I hate her. I want her out my Discord." But then 2 hours later, he's messaging her for $45.
Yeah, and also asking to see her nudes and stuff in DMs.
Yeah, but
meanwhile, he's telling everyone else that she's disgusting.
You know why he likes to get nudes on people? Because he does so much shit to them that he can use it as a bargaining tool to stop them coming out against him. Because he's like, send me nudes, and pretends he likes this girl, gets the nudes, and then he's like, if he ever fucks them over, he's like, well, I've got your nudes, so you better not say anything about me.
Now, throughout this video, you have heard from a lot of people who are very anti-RSN. I've done my best to try and present his side of the facts, his side of the arguments, and what he has to say as best as I could. I did offer him the chance to have an interview and give his side of the story directly to me. I was going to ask him some of the same questions I've asked these other people. But he declined. I gave him numerous chances and he just kept declining. I also reached out to many people associated with RealStream News, but most of them declined to comment. But someone who did reach out to me was someone who goes by the name Recovering Doll on Twitter, also known as Muse. And she reached out to me on Twitter saying that she would like to give her opinions and give her side about CJ.
Hi, my name is Muse Talks, and I want to kind of remake a video that I had made about the YouTuber known as RealStream News. I had decided to work with him with little knowledge of what happened with him and Amber, and I would like to retract some of the statements that I have made. I do believe that there are some leeway options when addicts are in active addiction. However, I said in my last video that in some ways we have to learn to forgive and learn to accept people in their active addiction. Now, knowing these claims, however, I would like to completely remove that statement because I, as a survivor, stand with survivors, and I always want to hear their stories first. And that's not like a doubt or like an analysis type thing. I guess in some ways it would be an analysis, but it isn't to blame them at all. It's just to learn the whole story. In Amber's video, one of the things that she had talked about was the fear to say no, and another thing that she brought up was the issues of the recordings where she said that it wasn't rape and things of that nature. In my case that I had reported with CJ, there were two things that were very similar. I personally, I'm not going to go too big into the details, but in my case, there was a moment where I had agreed to do one sexual action, and then a forced sexual action occurred that I didn't consent to. I had revoked consent 4 times, and it continued. And in my situation, it was played off as a BDSM thing. It was called consensual non-consent, and I think this is what CJ might have been trying to use along with the whole tape of, which I still don't understand, the tape of where she said that she would tell people if he pissed her off. I don't condone that or quite understand what that means. However, I do relate to her story pretty strongly. The last part that I just want to address is the part about talking to her mom on the phone. I did a very similar thing in my case, and it's still under investigation, and I do worry if my case is going to be dropped because of this, because I did frame it as well as, in the beginning, it was just rape play without negotiation, without aftercare, and these are important things in order to make a BDSM scene, and I was trying to leave little seeds to plant that way basically, if I decided that I wanted to come forward, and this is the last thing that I want to talk about of why I had concealed the actual truth as well, is that in the recording, her mom talks about going to the hospital and contacting the police and everything, and this is the most fearful thing as a survivor. To go and get a rape kit after you've been raped is a living nightmare. I couldn't have done it, and I was with friends, and they knew something was up, but I played it off in the best way that I could to leave evidence that something was going on. But I didn't want to be taken to the hospital, and I didn't want to have to deal with it immediately. Because the thing about when you're in a situation with an abuser or an alleged rapist or a rapist is that there's so much fear of what they might do next, and you don't want to anger them.
The first thing I want to ask is just how you met him and what your first interaction with him was.
Yeah, I've met him once. We actually went to Playlist Live together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I had talked to him a lot previously before actually meeting up. This was actually during a little bit before some drama happened with his YouTube channel. And that was actually what brought me to his channel, since I was looking at commentating channels and other drama-related channels at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get, like, some kind of quality thought before, like, I actually considered meeting up with him. So we became quite personal before actually meeting up, and I had a really good experience hanging out with him. He's really laid back.
Uh-huh.
He seems quite genuine.
Okay, so your experience with him was, you would say, is completely positive. Is there any negative, or was everything great?
Everything was actually really great. The first time he talked to me, he was very respectful. He wasn't objectifying or anything like that. I get a lot of really weird people messaging me.
I'm sure you do. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, it's always good to hear that someone was respectful or whatever, so that is good to hear. It's refreshing as well, because I have heard many people say the opposite, so it is nice to hear someone say that, yeah, he was respectful to me, he was nice to me, and that sort of thing. Have you heard much of the people speaking out against him?
Yeah, definitely. Since around that time, I'd been tuning into some of his streams, so I'd actually been really inside with all of the drama that's happened around him. It's very interesting to see how people react in certain situations with things.
Yeah. So if you had to say, like, what is your opinion of him in general? So do you consider him like a friend, or?
Yeah, I consider him a really good friend, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And so is YouTube like something you watch often still, or do you kind of stay away from that now?
I usually like to watch a lot of documentaries and economic-based content.
Mm-hmm. So not really drama.
Social stuff. Yeah, no, not really. I was watching a lot more of that type of stuff when it started blowing up in algorithms, and when the algorithms changed. Since I'd been an avid YouTube watcher for years. I've been on the platform for over 10 years, I feel like.
So when you were with CJ again at Playlist, how long was it you were there together?
I want to say like 5 days.
So about 5 days. And were you with him that whole time, or was it just a short period of that time, or?
I was with him the whole time. We got an Airbnb together.
Mm-hmm.
And we had planned an interview with Jacqueline, Glenn, and David. He's also really close with David as well. I guess they'd been talking prior to that meetup, and I had spoke with Jacqueline on streams in the past too, and they seemed like really interesting people to meet up with.
You said you know like a little bit about some of the drama that's been going on with him and stuff. What are your thoughts on most of that? Do you think that most people are exaggerating things, making things up, or do you just not know enough about it? Do you think he's innocent?
I genuinely think there's a lot of really crazy people that surround him. Like, I get some crazy people around me sometimes online, but some of these people are very extra. I can only imagine it's because of the type of people that would normally cultivate around the type of content he puts out. So, knowing that there's people who obviously get attracted to drama for what reasons. Some people, if they don't get any kind of positive attention through that dynamic, usually resort to projecting in very negative ways and try to make somebody look really bad without any fair logic. The main things that were the biggest issues he made me very aware of, since he'll talk to me about things sometimes, and I'll give him some kind of support in a sense that I feel that's fair, where I can do something. But I mean, for the most part too, I'm definitely one of those types of people where it's like, I understand like everybody has their own problems, and I mean, and there's nothing about our interaction that was like toxic or anything like that. He never had any ill will towards me or intentions, so I've never really had an issue at all.
Well, that's good to hear, and I'm glad that's the case.
There is a few cases involving the law that are being made and have been made involving the most serious things that I'm aware of. And they were all centered around people and their own issues and projecting and trying to look like a good person out of something that is otherwise not fair at all. And it really sucks that there's people out there that want to accuse people of really extreme accusations that, quite frankly, can detriment a very small channel.
Throughout this video, you have heard from many different sources. You have seen examples and evidence of many different scandals and situations. You have heard many references of RSN's character, both negative and positive. Some of the claims made in this video are very serious, and if these claims are 100% true, RSN is undoubtedly a dangerous person who I believe does not belong on this platform. For me and my opinions, as far as I'm concerned, the fact alone that he would falsely copyright strike other people's videos, the fact that he would abuse the copyright system, immediately takes away his right to having a platform on YouTube. And that's not even something that's up for debate. That's something that he has admitted to. That's something that he himself has tried to justify. Meanwhile, he complains when people like Onision do the same thing to him. And that's just a copyright thing. If you believe what Amber's been saying, if you believe the Amber situation, if you're on that side, then of course you're going to think this guy deserves harsh punishment. We look at the fact that he was releasing women's nudes on a live stream, something that is technically revenge porn. That is indication that he is in fact maybe a womanizer. There are other screenshots, other conversations, other behaviours that seem to back that up. And let's even look to the fact that he is surrounding himself with troubled individuals. His moderators, his fans, most of the people around him are people who have lived troubled lives, who have some issues in their lives right now. People, some of them even have illnesses or have mental disorders. And this isn't me trying to knock on those people. This is me explaining that there is a huge cause for concern here that he is exploiting these individuals. Because these people are buying him things. They are giving him money. Take the Laurie example. I spoke to Laurie earlier. Laurie says that they were very, very close friends. Very close friends. She bought him gifts for his birthday, for Valentine's, you name it. He never gave her a single gift back. Does that sound like a normal two-way friendship to you? To me, it sounds like he's exploiting an insecure girl. A girl who's much younger than him. From my perspective, RSN's lies never end. He lies about one thing, it eventually comes out that he was lying about it, and he says, oh, well, that's in the past now. Get over it. Then he moves on to the next thing. And it happens again, and it happens again. This video is an open letter to you, the viewer, and maybe to YouTube as well, to bigger creators. This is a subject I think deserves some more attention. It's something that deserves to be talked about more. It's something that deserves to have more light shed on it. I believe that we should be doing all that we can to make sure that RealStream News is not abusing power, that he's not abusing the copyright system, and that he's not a danger to other people around him. And just like I said when I started all of this, I don't want anyone to go and harass him over this. I'm not trying to encourage harassment or anything like that. I'm just a concerned individual. I'm concerned by what I see. I'm concerned by what could be. RealStream News is repeatedly the center of scandals and outrage. And if there was maybe one or two instances of this, I could say, okay, maybe people are lying, maybe people just don't understand what's going on. But when it's something that happens over and over again, it's that old saying, maybe the issue is you. Maybe it's not everyone else. If you're constantly having issues with other people, maybe the issue is you. I want to thank you all for watching this. This took a lot of time and effort to put together, and I appreciate anyone who has watched the whole series, whether you agree or disagree with any of the points made. I do appreciate anyone who has watched through. If you want to help me out, make sure to leave a like on this video, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and turn on that notification bell. And also make sure to check out my links in the description down below. My videos are often demonetized by YouTube, so I do rely on sources such as Patreon and merchandise sales to make a little bit of money doing this. I also encourage you all to share this video. Share it to the world. Get the word out there and share it to bigger creators especially. Not just other people who are going to watch it. Share it to bigger creators. Not people who are so big that there's no chance they'll cover this story, but people who are a bit bigger than me. People with maybe 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 at most. People who there's a chance might talk about this. People who can help spread awareness on this story, on this subject. And until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds, this was Medium Rare, and you're welcome, society.